So I think one of the wonderful things about the Lunchtime Ministry, which I've always loved, is that it's an organic place. So let me tell you about how it started. Probably 30 years ago, a bunch of senior citizens in our very small German congregation here started knitting blankets for the homeless down on our building on Washington Street. And they started, not even for the homeless, they were just for the hungry. It was sort of a quilting sort of a thing. Over the years, it grew more and more, and they started to serve coffee, and then they started to serve sandwiches to the quilters. And it became clear, as the story was told to me, it became clear over time that people were coming for the sandwich because there were senior citizens in Hoboken that were having food insecurity issues. So they were coming to quilt, and they were coming to have a sandwich and a cup of soup with their friends as they quilted. And then in the 80s, as Hoboken changed again, interestingly enough, more and more hungry people showed up. So the quilters sort of switched gears on the spot and became the soup makers and the sandwich makers. So these little old ladies who were originally quilting, little old ladies and men, some of them, sort of morphed the program from a little congregational-based knitting program into sort of an impromptu soup kitchen. People would come by and they'd have a cup of soup and a sandwich, and then they would go their own way. And over time, the program grew and grew and grew, and it grew from a handful of people sharing soup and a sandwich to where it is today, where in any given day we could serve between 60 and 80 homeless men and women, or hungry men and women, I should say, because not everyone here is homeless. This program serves people who are homeless, people who are working, the working poor, people who are successfully housed and just hungry and looking for a little bit of companionship. So what was great about this program is it's sort of the situation in the community dictated the program rather than the other way around. It sort of grew based on the need that was presented. And that's kind of, I think, how Spike and the other people who run this program day to day try to handle it.
We're going to have smoked turkey on the side and beef cilantro soup and apple cobbler for dessert. Announcements, guitar lessons will be today around 11:30. And Manuel from Welfare is not coming today. But Gail from Medicare is going to try and come.
My name is Spike Ensweiler. I am the program manager for St. Matthew Trinity Lunchtime Ministry, and I've been working here since January of 2016. So part of the job is supervising here. I am here on the site every day, and I run things in the kitchen and the dining room. And if I coordinate the volunteers and the menus, and outside of that, I write emails and write grants and welcome new social services and look for different services and ways to assist our guests.
Well, today we're cooking, we're making rice and soup and ham. And sandwiches, we got sandwiches going on over there. We're gonna serve, in about 45 minutes, we're gonna serve a lunch to everybody, to about 60 people here.
My name is Shaquan Porter. I'm just standing here next to Spike on my left. I'm in the kitchen with good volunteers that's cooking good food for us today.
I think Lunchtime Ministry looks at the people as a whole and not just as hungry people. It's very important to us that we have communication in such a fashion with them that we hear what their problems are, what they're facing day to day. I come in every morning and spend a little bit of time at each table, and people really tell me the things that are going on in their lives. And that is one of the most important services we can do, is listening to people, because many of these people don't have a lot of support that will just listen to them. I'm very proud of the volunteers that we have and that have come in to offer art classes, to offer knitting classes, to offer different kinds of music classes like guitar lessons. We have also from the city, from the county, from the state, social service organizations that come in as well.
I'm so glad I'm going to this art class today. She's an amazing teacher. She's inspiring, she's inclusive, and she's an art genius. I try to go here and make some art. I'm very proud of everything I do.
one of the big misconceptions that we deal with is that a lot of people in Hoboken look at the population of the Hoboken shelter and assume that they're outsiders in some way. The plain facts are that at least 25% of our residents at any given time are born and raised Hobokenites. Another 25% were born within 5 miles of the Hoboken shelter. So at least half of the people in our shelter at any given time are locals, right? So it's not those people, it's our people. So the real question is whether we want to take care of our people or not. And that's always been very important to me.
We provide breakfast and lunch. Those are the two main meals. We have breakfast as soon as we open up and a whole lot of coffee all morning long. We have lunch at 10 a.m., so it's an early lunch, which means our guests can get going for the day after they eat, and they can go to their appointments or go to look for work or do whatever they have to do for the rest of the day. We also usually have food to go, and we have canned food and other things that folks can bring along with them after they leave our doors. We have other services, including we give out hygiene items, socks, winter hats, gloves, scarves, stuff like that. And we give out, we have free haircuts once a month. We do clothing donations once a month. And we offer tenants' rights counseling, SSI counseling, SSD counseling, financial counseling. We have health screenings, flu shots, and voter registration, and a number of other services. We have a guitar lesson every Thursday, and we have art classes every Tuesday.
Our guests are not just our guests. They are your brothers and sisters. Their welfare is an important job for everyone. Get to know the homeless. Get to know the hungry. You will be very surprised at how much you have in common with them.